2026 has seen an unprecedented development in the world of cricket because Bangladesh, one of the full member nations in the International Cricket Council or the ICC, has decided to boycott the T20 World Cup that will be played in India. For the first time ever, a full member nation on its own accord has decided to boycott a T20 World Cup. In the past ICC events, when you look at it, there have been several instances of one or two matches either getting forfeited because of security concerns or other factors. 2003, England versus Zimbabwe, when England refused to travel to Harare because of the Robert Mugabe regime's atrocities that were there. New Zealand refusing to go to Kenya in 2003 because of security concerns. And Australia and West Indies in the 1996 World Cup ignoring and just forfeiting their games in the against Sri Lanka and Colombo because of what happened in January 31, 1996, when there was a suicide attack in the Bank of Ceylon locality that was there. But the Bangladesh situation continues the politicization and the weaponization of cricket that is there in the subcontinent at this point in time. Now, the genesis of this lies about a development that took place a couple of months earlier. India-Bangladesh tensions deteriorated when Sheikh Hasina was overthrown and she had to flee to India. From that point on, when the interim government under Dr. Mohammad Yunus has come in, anti-India sentiments have been on a high. Minorities in Bangladesh have been targeted, and amidst all of that, the confusion sprung. What happened? Looking at the deteriorating situation, the BCCI, IPL were conveniently living in a bubble. In that bubble, they decided that, okay, let us conduct the IPL mini auction that is going to take place. Bangladesh players were registered. Mustafizur Rahman was bought for 9.2 crores by the Kolkata Knight Riders. At that time, no one raised an issue. But then came the blowback that no one anticipated. That anticipation was that fringe elements and hardline Hindutva elements here in the country and several other stakeholders in the country were raising an issue as to why Mustafizur Rahman was bought, despite the tensions that exist between India and Bangladesh at that moment in time. The development stunned everybody and the IPL had to wake up and spring into action. What they did later was that they removed Mustafizur from that IPL auction and decided that yes, the 9.2 crores would be given back to Kolkata Knight Riders. This happened in January 2026. Now, after that, the Bangladesh Cricket Board sprung into action and then said, because Mustafizur Rahman was humiliated, we will not travel to India for the T20 World Cup because of security concerns. Now, BCB shot a letter. And in that whole exchange, when you look at it, BCB were firm that we cannot travel to India because there are security threats on three fronts. One, fans. How can they wear the Bangladesh jersey and go to the stadium? Mustafizur. And can the ICC and the government give security to the Bangladesh players? In that, Bangladesh didn't get a convincing answer. Now, the development reached its end point when ICC unanimously voted that yes, if Bangladesh insists that they do not travel to India, they will then be replaced. And it was given a big unanimous vote, only two nations voting against it. One was Bangladesh itself, and the second, curiously, was Pakistan. Pakistan also wrote to the ICC saying that whatever are Bangladesh's concerns is legitimate. Please address that. Bangladesh wanted two demands. All their games should have been moved out of India. They wanted to play in Sri Lanka. And the other demand was that if that is not possible, let us swap groups. But ICC rejected both of them. And now, Bangladesh government and the players met and then they decided that yes, we will boycott the T20 World Cup because they are just not getting the security assurance. This is where, when you look at it, it's an unprecedented situation. They are still hopeful of a miracle, that they will go back to the ICC and insist that, okay, we want to play the World Cup, but not in India, in Sri Lanka. How will the ICC bend? Because now Bangladesh took a bluff and they have paid a heavy price for it. They are in danger of being replaced by Scotland. Because remember, in the European qualifiers, Scotland just missed out, and that is where this is going to be an end game for Bangladesh. What are the circumstances? What will happen now to Bangladesh? For one, the bilateral tour that was expected in August, September between India and Bangladesh, India were expected to go to Bangladesh. That's not happening. Bangladesh players will now be in the same bracket as Pakistan. IPL will not be allowed to pick those players. And remember, the 2027 ODI Asia Cup and the 2031 World Cup is been hosted by Bangladesh and co-hosted with India in 2031. How does this development impact it? Because if the government does a U-turn, it impacts their fortune in the elections that's going to be held in Bangladesh very shortly. So anti-India sentiment is on the rise in Bangladesh, but all this could have been avoided had the BCCI and the IPL just were aware of developments that were going on elsewhere. If they had not lived in the bubble, this whole situation would not have arisen. At the end of the day, cricket is the major loser. The politicians are happy. Anti-India, anti-Bangladesh elements in the country are very happy about it. But cricket has lost yet again. And this is the direct consequence of the weaponization of the game that is currently going on in South Asia. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to India Today Global for all the latest news and updates.